How's it going, everyone? My name is True Wonder Dog, still sick with the flu, but today I'll be explaining the biggest changes in the recent update. Now, I won't be covering everything because some of these were bizarrely specific and just never going to happen realistically, but some of these changes are actually very nice quality of life changes. So for example, Aaron Black, his Grip Slam, otherwise known as Back 2, now has a different animation on hit. So as you can see, Kano doesn't fly backwards immediately anymore. He kind of sticks around a little bit before stumbling backwards. And what that means is if I land back 2 at maximum range and do the whole dial-in string, it's no longer going to miss anymore. Which is nice, the game's not going to punish you for landing your move at max range. Which is good because back 2, because you hold back to do it, is a very great whiff punish tool, but before, if you landed it at too far of a range, you wouldn't get the follow-ups, or at least it wasn't guaranteed a lot of the time. And now for the most part, those follow-ups are always going to land, so a very nice quality of life change for Aaron Black. Which I think is really nice because Aaron Black had a lot of nerfs recently. And I know he was very strong for a while and he dominated this game. He was quite a threat both online and at tournaments competitively, but even so, it's nice to see him get a little small win after all those big nerfs. And next up, let's talk about Kano. So Kano had his up 2 improved just a little bit, so let me go ahead and have Aaron Black knock me down, and then he's just gonna jump. Now before, if I did an up 2, I wouldn't get that second hit guaranteed, and sadly it's still not guaranteed, but what they did is that first hit now has increased gravity, and it's trying to help ensure that second hit lands a lot more consistently. Which is nice because one of the main points of an up 2 for most characters is to catch the opponent out of the sky, because they want to jump and avoid your wake up 3, which has invincibility, but the wake up 2 doesn't have the invincibility but does anti-air a lot better. But before, Kano would land the first hit, second hit would miss, and he wouldn't even get a combo, so he spin bar for pretty much no reason. Now that combo is a lot more likely to happen because that second hit is a lot more likely to connect. Once again, just a very nice quality of life change for our boy Kano. He now doesn't have to work quite as hard to get his combo after that up 2. Things are a lot more consistent for him now, and that's a very nice change because Kano's certainly not a top tier character, so he needs all the help that he can get. And that's actually not it for Kano. He got one more nice buff, so very similar to Aaron Black, this string 2-4 Deadly Digger is now a lot less likely to whiff because the second hit has increased range. So that's very nice. Once again, before, if you land this at max range, you weren't guaranteed the follow-up, which means you wouldn't get the ender and you wouldn't get the combo. It was just very unfair for poor Kano to get punished for landing his move at its max range. I hope to see this a lot more in future updates, honestly, because there still are some characters with this problem. Frost comes to mind for me, where her back 2-2, if spaced perfectly, leaves her out of range for pretty much all of her special moves, especially in certain variations, so I would love to see that changed for her as well. But for now at least, it's very nice that both Aaron Black and Kano players won't get punished for landing these moves at max range anymore. If you nail that whiff punish, you will get the combo pretty much every single time. And next up we have Jacqui. So apparently her danger zone could actually hit the opponent even if they were laying down in an invincible state, so I imagine even during a delayed wake up. So what I want to do is pretty much just take control of Jax, then have Jacqui sweep me, and I'm going to stay down and see if it still hits me anymore. Alright, here we go, moment of truth, delayed wake up, and it does not catch me even though I'm laying down. Now I haven't actually seen that competitively or online, but that does seem like a glitch that definitely deserves to be fixed, though if I'm being honest, I wouldn't mind if every character could actually be hit when they were lying down, but that's just me personally. You all know that I don't like delayed wake up, it is my kryptonite. And actually in past games like MK9, there were certain moves that could hit the opponent when they were lying down, and I wouldn't personally mind if they brought that back, but since it's not supposed to be possible in this game, I do think this change was a very good one. And then we have Jax. So before, his heat missiles could actually disappear even if they were hit during their active frames. Now, not the startup frames, but the active frames. So in other words, they should already be out and on screen, and at the very least trade with the opponent, but apparently in some situations they would actually get destroyed. They would just go away for whatever reason. And now that's no longer going to happen. If this heat missile is in its active frame, it is not going to disappear even if Jax does get hit. So once again, a very nice quality of life change for both of these characters. And next up, let's talk about Kotal Kahn. This one is very nice, and it's good to see the Kotal Kahn mains being tossed another bone, because this guy does not have the easiest time, especially online. So before, Kotal Kahn didn't have the best fatal blow. Oops, still controlling Kung Lao. Let's switch that real quick. So Kotal Kahn before, if that first hit landed for his fatal blow, the second hit wasn't always guaranteed, and now it's a lot more likely to connect. So just to demonstrate that, let's go ahead and have Kung Lao just like run up and jump at me maybe. And I'll try to hit him at the peak of his jump. And as you can see, he kind of just gets held in place there. He's not flying away, he's not being launched upward, he's kind of like suspended in the air, which is perfect. Once again, I would love to see this change for even more characters because there are plenty of moves that kind of do knock the opponent away and make it very tough for your follow-ups to land, but that's not going to happen for Kotal Kahn anymore, at least not most of the time. That fatal blow is now a lot more consistent because the first hit does not launch the opponent away, does not launch them upwards either, just kind of holds them there in place, which is very, very nice. A very good quality of life change for you Kotal Kahn mains. You no longer have to be afraid of your own fatal blow. And next up, let's talk about Kung Lao. Now this change is a bit ridiculous if you ask me, because Kung Lao already had one of the better wake up 3s in my opinion, at least as far as verticality goes, because the opponent could jump and you would still catch him with your wake up 3. Didn't quite get it there. There we go, and as you can see, now both hits will land. So used to, the first one would kind of miss, and the second one would snag you, or the first one would hit you and the second one would miss. But just like Kano, the gravity has been increased and the hitbox has been adjusted a bit. So now it's a bit more likely to hit the opponent with both kicks, which means you can actually combo off of his wake up 3 if the opponent jumps. For a lot of characters, you have to do a wake up 2 if you want to catch him jumping, but not Kung Lao. He gets the invincibility, and he also has a very good vertical hitbox. Now of course, I can hear all the Kung Lao mains saying that the horizontal region is not very good. You're right. Horizontally it doesn't hit very far, but it's still a fantastic anti-air. And now if you're a skilled Kung Lao player, you get a combo off this, which is just crazy to think about. In short, Kung Lao's up 3 is now even better against jumping opponents, and you can even combo after it. So Kung Lao was and still is the combo god in Mortal Kombat 11. And then last but not least, let's talk about Joker. Now Joker had more changes than anybody else in this patch. So for starters, I'm controlling the wrong character. But for starters, his back throw now requires the correct input to break it, which means his forward throw crushing blow is now that much stronger, because before, for whatever reason, his throws were not broken the same as everybody else, but now it's normal. The back throw now has to be broken the same way as every other character. So that's a very nice quality of life change, because now this crushing blow is going to be a bigger threat. It's still a 50-50 now, like it should have been always. And then for the next change, you can no longer delay his short hop kick. So used to, if you delayed that, it would actually become very safe on block and sometimes even plus. So unlike any other character in the game whose short hops are very, very minus and oftentimes punishable depending on how you space it, Joker did not have that problem. Once again, you could delay his short hop and become not only safe but potentially plus on block, and that has been fixed. Once again, things are now just a bit more universal, which feels fair because the short hop is a universal ability. It has no reason to be that much stronger than anybody else's. And one more nice change for the opponent, and not necessarily Joker, is if you flawless block his jumping jester, it no longer does full damage. For anyone who's not aware, a flawless block not only recovers quicker, but also reduces chip damage as well. This was not actually the case for this move. It would still do the exact same damage on block or flawless block. So let me go ahead and have Catwoman do a flawless block just to show that off. So as you can see, a lot less damage than before, pretty much nothing. Whereas before, even with the flawless block, it was still doing a lot of damage on block. That's now no longer the case. If you nail the timing and manage to pull off that flawless block, it will now do so little damage that it's pretty much nothing at all. So once again, a very nice change. Maybe not for Joker, but certainly for everybody else. And then the last major change for Joker was the armor on his fatal blow. So before, if you armored with Joker, he could actually hold down the super for even longer. That's not the case anymore. If he armors or if he doesn't, it will still only be held down for a certain number of frames. You can no longer extend it just because you absorbed an attack. So once again, a very nice quality of life change. Let's go ahead and show that off by having Katana just throw something at me. I'm gonna have her walk backwards and then throw. So I can armor that, but it's not going to extend my time anymore. It's gonna be the exact same as it would be even if I didn't get hit by anything. Still the exact same number of frames. Very nice quality of life change. Can I absorb more than one? I'm just kind of curious. Does he have infinite armor or just a little bit of armor? Kind of curious about that. Just one hit of armor. I thought so, but man, no. Oh no, never mind. Look at that. If you time it correctly, you can get even more hits of armor. Ooh, that's crazy. Okay. That's a pretty scary fatal blow. I didn't know it was that good, but the main point is you can no longer extend the super even further if you armor through an attack. It's the same no matter what. And alright everyone, and that's about it for the biggest changes in the recent update. Once again, I didn't cover every little thing, but I will leave a link to the full patch notes in the video description. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like down below. It really does help my channel out a ton. And then why not keep that combo going by subscribing and ringing that bell. That way you never miss a future video. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.